But you're willing to tank it if it's not?
They are willing to tank it. No. Sorry. That is exactly the problem, is when the media reports this as not their fault. And I'm just going to say, I know so many of you, I have so much respect for what you do, but let's tell the truth here. We are not tanking anything. The debt ceiling has been raised because we have an appropriations process, and during the appropriations process, the budget process, we negotiate. The Republicans can try to get whatever they can there, but then we agree. No, this is important. The American people should hear this. Then we agree on spending. Republicans agree, Democrats agree. We decide, we appropriate money based on what Congress has passed, legislation that we pass in this body. That is democracy. And then, when it's time, the debt ceiling is raised to accommodate what we have already passed, Republicans and Democrats, in a democratic process.
So it's not my fault that the Democrats today have become so extreme, so far to the socialist wing, that they are now opposed to work requirements. But if AOC and Bernie Sanders is going to run their party, that's not my fault. It is not my fault they won't take action. It is not my fault that the president would not meet with me for 97 days. I'm sorry. It is not my fault that the Democrats cannot give up on their spending. So don't blame me for reaching out to the Democrats, for begging the president to meet with me or trying to find it. And don't blame us, Republicans, when we put a reasonable bill together that we actually took Democrats' ideas. So when we...
Thank you so much to all of our colleagues here who have made such incredible and forceful arguments. I want to reiterate one point. The reason why anyone is asking anyone on this stage about what we would vote for is because Kevin McCarthy needs our votes. Because Kevin McCarthy doesn't have the votes. Because Kevin McCarthy is going to the White House without a majority of his caucus. He does not have what is necessary to negotiate. And for any question about what anybody would settle for, he has responsibility to concede. So if he wants any Democratic support, he has to come to the table. And we have seen him over and over again say that he will not negotiate, that they are engaged in hostage taking, not negotiation, extortion, not conversation. And that is not something we can establish. It is not something we can reinforce in this country. The proposal that we see on this table right now that Kevin McCarthy and the Republican caucus have put down has been an absolute rejection of the same reckless tax cuts that were passed in 2017 that we said at the time would explode the debt ratio, that would explode the deficit. And now, several years later, we are in this scenario. And instead of them recognizing the error of their ways, they want to protect tax cuts on yachts and private jets and make single moms pay for it. And that's where we say no. That's where we say the American people did not elect House progressives so that we can lay back while people's food benefits are cut. We're here to fight for working families. And so this is the last caucus to ask, what are we going to give up in terms of people's food, in terms of people's health care, in terms of veterans? And the time is now to ask the Republican caucus why they are valuing billionaires over veterans and single mothers. This is shameful. We can put an end to it. And it only takes 5 of the 18 Republicans that are in Biden-carried seats. Thank you.
Point here, our reporting is that Republicans have essentially ruled out tax increases. They've also ruled out defense cuts. Are you comfortable with the Biden administration coming to an agreement if those are part of the terms?
You know, I think one of the things that is indicated by the information that you just shared is that for all this talk about negotiations, Republicans are not negotiating at all. They, in fact, Republican Matt Gaetz expressed in a party meeting today that this is, in fact, a hostage situation. And I want to be clear about what the Republican Party is taking hostage. It is not Democrats. It is the entire U.S. economy. And for them to have this situation and try to use an unprecedented move of taking the entire U.S. economy hostage in order to secure cuts to veterans' health care, to Medicare, Medicaid potentially, or just threaten all of those services in the event of a default is unprecedented. It is extreme, and it is not acceptable.